Good morning, beloved family in Christ. Today I want to talk to you about something that every one of us struggles with at some point in our lives: faith and trusting God. We live in a world that tells us to trust what we can see, what we can touch, what we can control. But God calls us to a different way of living. He calls us to walk by faith and not by sight. Think about Abraham for a moment. God told him to leave his country, his family, everything familiar, and go to a land he had never seen. Abraham did not have a map. He did not have a plan laid out in front of him. All he had was a promise from God, and that was enough. The Bible tells us that Abraham believed God, and it was credited to him as righteousness. That is what faith looks like. Taking a step even when you cannot see the whole staircase. Many of us today are standing at the edge of our own unknown. Maybe it is a financial situation that looks impossible. Maybe it is a health diagnosis that has shaken you to your core. Maybe it is a relationship that is broken, or a dream that seems to be dying. In those moments, it is easy to trust only what we can see, and what we see is often frightening. But God is inviting you today to trust Him beyond what your eyes can perceive. Proverbs chapter 3 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight." Notice it does not say trust God only when things make sense. It says trust Him with all your heart, especially when your own understanding runs out. That is the test of real faith. Anyone can trust God when the sun is shining and everything is going well. But faith is proven in the storm. Remember the disciples in the boat. Jesus was asleep, and a violent storm arose. The waves were crashing over the boat, and the disciples were terrified. They woke Jesus up and said, "Do you not care that we are perishing?" And Jesus stood up, rebuked the wind, and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." And the sea became calm. Then he turned to his disciples and asked them, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" That question is still being asked today. Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith? Jesus was in the same boat. He was never absent from their situation. Even when he appeared to be sleeping, he was still in control. Sometimes we feel like God is silent, like he is asleep in the middle of our storm. But silence is not absence. His presence does not depend on how loud he speaks. He is still Lord over every wave, every wind, every circumstance that threatens to overwhelm you. Faith is not the absence of fear. Faith is choosing to trust God in spite of fear. It is completely normal to feel afraid when you are facing something you cannot control. But the question is what you do with that fear. Do you let it paralyze you, or do you bring it to God and say, "Lord, I am afraid, but I trust you more than I trust my fear"? There is a beautiful truth in Isaiah 41, verse 10. God says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Notice the personal nature of this promise. It is not a generic statement thrown out into the universe. God is speaking directly. "I am with you. I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you." This is not a distant deity watching from far away. This is a Father who is present, who is active, who is holding you up even when you feel like you are falling. Sometimes trusting God means waiting, and waiting is one of the hardest things we are ever asked to do. We live in a culture of instant answers, instant results, instant gratification. But God's timing is not our timing. Think about Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers, falsely accused, thrown into prison 4 years. From a human perspective, his life looked like a tragedy for a very long time. But God was writing a story that Joseph could not see in the moment. Years later, Joseph would say to his brothers, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." What looked like delay was actually preparation. What looked like abandonment was actually divine positioning. Maybe you are in a season of waiting right now. Maybe you have prayed for something for months, or even years, and it feels like heaven is silent. I want to encourage you today. God has not forgotten you. He is not slow, as some understand slowness, but He is working according to a wisdom that is higher than ours. Isaiah 55 tells us that his thoughts are not our thoughts, and his ways are not our ways. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are his ways higher than our ways. Trust does not mean you understand everything God is doing. Trust means you believe he is good even when you do not understand. Let me speak also about the difference between worrying and trust. Worrying says, I have to figure this out on my own. Trust says, God already knows, and he is already working. Philippians 4 tells us, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. This peace is not something you manufacture through willpower. It is a gift that comes when you release your grip and place your situation into the hands of a God who is far more capable than you are. I want to encourage every single person listening today. Whatever storm you are facing, whatever mountain looks too big to climb, whatever door seems permanently closed, do not put your trust in your circumstances. Put your trust in the character of God. He has never failed. He has never been late. He has never abandoned his children. Throughout every generation, he has proven himself faithful, and he will prove himself faithful in your life as well. Faith grows through practice, not through perfect understanding. Every time you choose to trust God in a small thing, you are building spiritual muscle for the bigger things. Start today. Bring your fears to him honestly. Tell him where you are struggling to believe. He's not intimidated by your doubts, and he is not offended by your honesty. Even the man in the Gospel of Mark who said, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief, received the miracle he was seeking. God honors honest faith, even faith that is mixed with doubt, because faith the size of a mustard seed is enough to move mountains. As we close today, I want you to take this truth with you. God is not asking you to have all the answers. He's asking you to trust the one who does. Lean not on your own understanding. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and watch as he makes your path straight, even the paths that right now look impossible to walk. May you leave here today with a renewed confidence that the same God who calmed the storm, who provided for Abraham, who redeemed Joseph's pain, and who walked with the disciples, is walking with you right now. Trust him. He's faithful. He will not fail you. Amen.